core of the tomato, right? This is that little part that's on the top. We're going to poke it through and go all the way around. Okay? Why do I choke all the way up on my knife like this?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You can
If
control.
you at it like this, it's going to go straight into my hand. Okay? I can guarantee you that if you do it like this, eventually you will cut yourself. Okay? Because I've done it. Okay? So I'm going to choke up on the knife. The back of the knife is here. I'm right-handed, so the back of the knife is to the right side. And make sure that you keep your fingers away from the edge of the knife, right? The blade. Our goal tonight, we almost had a perfect night last time we did it. Our goal tonight is to have you not cut or burn yourself. Okay, the safety is the most important thing. Those are trash. Then we make a little X on the top. Okay. Notice the technique, right? Hold the knife like this, curl it up. Okay. Not moving back and forth on the blade because you'll cut yourself. Just like that. Hands up. X on the top. And you don't have to make a giant X, just enough that's going to help you score, right? It's going to help you get that peel off, just like we do the onion. Now, 30 seconds in the water, take them out and bring them right back to me and we'll put them in this ice. Okay? And then we'll start working on some things like, let's do garlic last. First thing I'm going to show you how to flute a mushroom.
Flute?
Flute a mushroom. Does it have this in your book? Fluted mushrooms? So we take a white button mushroom. You don't use the brown ones. Normally we will wash these mushrooms really good, make sure that they're all nice and clean because you know where they're grown, right? Yes. Okay. So we clean them off. But for a fluted mushroom, it's like it's designed like a knife skill, right? And everybody learns. We're going to actually peel that off. Okay. You can peel that. I didn't know until I went to culinary school. Okay, and fluting it should be good, huh? Okay, get them into the ice. And we're going to leave them in there until they cool down. Make sure they're all the way submerged. There you go. I like to have you guys do most of this by yourself. Okay, so peel it off all the way. I took a little bit off the bottom. Okay, now, there's two ways you can do this. You can do it just like you're holding the paring knife like a chef's knife. You can start at the top, and you can, I'm at an angle there, at about a 45-degree angle. I'm going to turn my knife back towards me and roll it. This is also called turning a mushroom. So I'm turning my knife like this. I'm not slicing into it. And then I start at the last one. Okay. Turn back. And so what I have is a nice little groove that I've cut it in. Okay? You guys, this isn't going to be on your knife skills, but it should be something that you know how to do, and so I would recommend practicing. Okay? The other way that you can do it is you can turn it upside down. Turn the knife upside down. For some reason, that little weight that's on the end of your paring knife, it makes it a little bit easier to do. So I do the same way. I put my finger underneath here. That's my guide for the angle that I want. Okay? And then I just cut straight back towards me. Yes. So I'm just turning my knife. Okay? It's called fluting. Okay? When I was in skills class, it was my goal to be the best mushroom fluter.
What was the angle on that, Chef?
About 45 degrees. The steeper the angle that you have on there, the thinner the groove is going to be. So if you have it really wide, like, actually, so it's up here like this, and you turn it. The angle determines the thickness. Right? I can't think of it right now. It's late at night. Okay. But when you practice, you'll see. So you can see all around the edge, it's got this nice little groove thing going on. Then we just press the tip of the knife in there, like a little star shape. Cover up where we started. Okay? And then what you do, this is really great as a garnish. Okay? So you put these face down in the saute pan with a little bit of chicken fat, if you're sauteing chicken breast, or for your cream of mushroom soup, this is a good garnish. You put it in the saute pan, right? Let it get really nice and brown on the outside, and then put it into the oven to cook the rest of the way. And then when you look at it here, all these little grooves have this nice little brown on the outside. So So it's this good contrast. You can see all of that going on. It's got a little star on the top, so you can put it in your cream mushroom soup, or later on when you have your sauteed chicken breast, right? That's a good way to do that. You can also poach these. You can poach them with white wine, red wine, you can poach them with stock, whatever you want, and then use that as an accompaniment. These must be cooked though, somehow. Sauteed, poached. What's the temperature for poaching?
165.
165. Love to hear it.
165.
Okay? If you didn't know that, write it down in your little pocket-sized notebook. This is good for it. Now, somebody give me their peeler. Actually, let's go with the tomato. Okay, what I don't ever want to see is, I don't ever want to see like your trash bin or, you know, well, if these came straight off the rack and they went on your cutting board, okay. We want to be really careful about what we're putting on top of our cutting board. You know, binders, those spice containers, God knows where those have been. So make sure that whatever you're putting on top of your cutting board is clean. So if you're putting the product on there or you're putting the knife on there, those are clean, obviously. But don't be putting like household items, you know, your jacket, your coat, your hat, whatever, especially not your hat. Don't put that on. Or you got to go back and sanitize it. So this is real easy at this point, right? Take our paring knife, right up under that little cut that you made. Okay. These tomato skins, you know, I'm throwing them away right now, but you can actually use them for certain things, you know, colors. Normally we throw it away. We take the skin out for a couple of reasons. One is it's kind of bitter. Two is it's stuck in your teeth, right? So that's why we do tomato concasse. Everybody's like, why are we going to go through all that trouble? You know, at Claim Jumper we just put it through the tomato dice. We're not taking skin out. We're talking about the highest possible standard, right? So every time we do something, every time we use a tomato in a cooked dish, we're going to take the skin off. Unless we're using it for like a tomato confit or something like that, sun-dried tomato, you know, that's what we do. Okay, so what we should have is nice, firm, to be nice and firm, because we didn't cook in that one. You did a good job. Perfect amount of time. You're going to notice that when it comes up, it's going to be split just a little right down that line that you cut. That's how you know that it's ready to come out at first. The more you do this, the better feel you're going to get for how long it needs to stay in that water. Because these, you felt these, right? These are really firm tomatoes. If it's really ripe, 10 seconds right out of the water, okay? You guys are scaring me. Y'all looking in that direction? Oh, okay. All right. So there's a couple of ways you can do your tomato concasse, right? One of the ways that you can do it is you can take off the outside. You guys all know that there's a core on the inside, right? You can cut off these little outside pieces. And normally, do you think we want to throw away this wonderful stuff that's inside this tomato? No. Oh, heck no. What can we do with it? You can make sauce, like strain it out, use the water, make a nice tomato soup, right? Like cold tomato soup in the summertime with tomato water. You can use it for a lot of stuff. And so I don't want to see you guys like dumping out all this juice, and certainly not, you know, obviously we're not going to use it right now in this class unless you can think of some way to use it. If you want to think of some way to use it in class, do it. But we want to make sure we get all the seeds out, okay? So I just go through, this is the easiest way to do it, okay? Get all the seeds out. So for your tomato concasse, if you looked on your rubric for your midterm knife skills exam, does anybody remember what it says? Not one seed in this thing. You want to get an A. Okay? Not one seed. And we want to minimize waste. So, take a look, make sure there's no seeds. No seeds on those guys. Those are going to be real easy to small dice. When we say concasse in here, we want small dice. Now this guy's a pretty irregular shape, so we just do the best that we can to get it into a small dice size. Okay? And when you do your knife skills for me, I don't know how the other chefs are going to do it, but when you do it for me, you're going to put the core on the side. Because all of your small dice tomato needs to be a small dice, right? So your core is right there. Then, 1/4 inch, all this stuff. Right, nice perfect little squares. So those can go on the side, right? And you can see that these are a little bit irregular. So it's okay to chop those and leave them to the side. We can use them for something else later, like your tomato sauce. It doesn't matter if they're small dice, right? Because you're going to puree it anyway. Always making sure that that leading hand is curled up, thumbs tucked in, right? Okay. Everybody cuts themselves, so you guys shouldn't laugh. You're going to cut yourself eventually. I cut myself all the time. And it's usually because, you know, especially once you start getting good at knife skills, you're gonna get lazy, and you're not gonna remember to keep that hand out of the way. Okay. And my biggest fear is that one of you guys are gonna injure yourself. So I want you to please always be keeping safety in mind. It don't make no sense if you make the perfect chicken soup, you don't have a finger afterwards. Okay? So this is what we're looking for. Nice small dice, right? And then the core is chopped. You can set them on the side. Remember, we're going to put it on a sheet pan with a parchment paper labeled, right? Everybody's going to do one tomato. I'll do that to the side. Okay? So, we're low on sheet pans today, so I'm not going to take a sheet pan from you for the demo. I'm just going to leave them up here. Normally, though, what do? Clean off our cutting board completely before we move on to the next thing. So we're going to go paper towels.